Hello, friends. Thank you for joining the series for interview questions. So, today Gyaneshwar Malwa will be taking my interview on QAble Apex. But before that, please subscribe to the SFTC Amplified and hit the bell notification for the latest updates. So, thank you, Gyan, for taking out the time to take my interview.
Yes, of course. Thank you, Smriti, for providing us with the technical Salesforce interview questions resources available at your channel. And today, I'll be having some questions on QFX. So I'll start with the first question now. Can you write a blueprint of QAble job?
Okay, so let's discuss that.
Can discuss this?
Okay. So
Yes.
basically, when we are writing QAble, what we have to do is we have to create a class and we have to use the QAble interface. Now, this you can see that implements QAble is used. That means that we are using the QAble interface. It holds only one method, that is execute. And then we are writing QAble context. This is used so that we can monitor the job by going to the Apex jobs in the setup and checking the queued job. Yes,
Thank
Gyan,
you.
please go ahead.
We'll go to the next question. What is the return type of the ID of QAble Apex in test class?
So the ID of the queuable job is not returned in the test context, and basically system NQ jobs return nulls in a running test.
Perfect. We'll go to the next question.
I'm still seeing what is the return type of ID queuable in test class.
No, lagging at your end. So at my end, I can see like and what is QAble context?
Okay, okay. This, yeah, there might be some slowness. Okay, so what is queuable context?
Can answer
So
that.
as we discussed, that queuable context we can use to basically check about the job ID. So once we queue the queuable job, then job ID is returned, and for that we can check that through the queuable context.
Correct. Yeah, as we discussed in the first question, we can get the job ID through QAble context. Yes, thank you. I'll go for the next question now. How can I queue QAble job?
Okay, so we can queue it using the system.nqa job, and if we put like system.nqa job and put new and the class name, that's how we are able to do that.
Yes, creating instantiating the class in the job. Yeah. So the next question is, how can I use the job ID to trace the queuable job?
Okay, not an issue. We can use the async apex job, so we can use this to perform the SOQL query. So if I put like async apex job and then in that
Mhm.
we are querying it like status and number of errors, then we are able to get the basically information about the particular job.
Correct. Thank you. Yeah, the query. Yes. So from the async apex job object. So we'll go for the next question. Thank you. Let's say I have a 200 records to be processed using Queuable Apex. How can I divide the execution context for every 100 records?
So guys, this is like little bit confusing question. So always remember that only in the batch we can like divide the records and send them in batches. But in future or cable, we cannot process into the batches. So that is the answer.
Correct. I mean, it will process 200 records, right?
Yes.
Next question. So here, if you can see, you can explain how chaining works in Qable Apex, the code.
Okay, so obviously it's very important to understand the code, and reading is very important. So let's see. So we have created a class A, class B, and class C. So class A will be calling class B, and class B will be calling class C. So that is called a chaining of jobs. So in Qable, chaining is possible. Okay, but let's see how we do it. So we have a execute method in class A, and inside that we say system.enquery job, and then we put the new and then the class name to which we want to queue. So we have put new B. Now in the class B again we have put new and then the class name, that is C. And then in the class C, if we want to link to class D, then we can put the class D. One thing to note that is, if the class A wanted to connect with class B and class C, that is, it wanted to queue both of them, that was not a possibility. We can only queue one job from another queuable class. So that's how exactly it works.
Nice. Yep. So the next question is, can a chain that has implemented allows callout from a job that doesn't have?
Yes, callouts are allowed in chain queuable jobs. That's not a problem.
Yes, that's correct. Thank you. How to test chaining?
So this is an important question. So we cannot chain queuable jobs in Apex test. That's what we have to remember. That is what we can do in actual class only. So we have to write separate class for each chained queue jobs. So that is important. And also while we are chaining the jobs, we can use the is running test to before calling the enqueue jobs. So let's see the code and we will be understanding it. Yes, Gyan, please go ahead.
Sure.
So you
So
can
here
see
is the
here.
code.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure.
So you
Go
can
ahead.
see here that the running test returns true if currently executing code was called by the code containing the test method. Otherwise, false. So basically, what we will do is, as chaining is not possible in the Apex test, so we will be writing the separate test and we will be checking the test.is running test. And this we use to make sure that unit tests are not running before chaining the call. So basically, we don't want to chain another job during the unit test is running, and that is the reason we put test dot is running test. So the point here to note that is, we cannot chain queuable jobs in the Apex test. That we can do in actual test itself. Please go ahead.
Right. Thank you. So the next question is, this is a new one. What is transaction finalizers, which is still a beta version?
So right now it is a beta version, and it is a very important question as very less people will be knowing it. So let's understand it. So basically, transaction finalizer helps us to enable the to attach an action, any specific action which we want to attach, and this helps us to basically, if there is some failure or if there is some test passed, sorry, some what action we want to take apart from after that, that is what transaction finalizer does. So we can understand it with the help of an example. So Gyan, can you just show the text?
Sure. Mhm. Yeah.
So
So
let's
here is
try
the
to,
example.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you can go ahead. The
Okay.
example.
Okay, so let's understand with the help of examples so we are clear. For example, we want to make a call out to external system and there is a network issue and that's why call out didn't work. Okay, so what we should do, as in we are using a queuable class. Now it is failed. We will just check in the Apex jobs that it is failed and then we will again run it. But with this transaction finalizers, we can make in such a way that it can get re-enqueued. That is, we can make a post action that it will be running again. So initially what we need to do, we need to get the job ID after call out is made. That's what we used to do. And then check the status of the job. Manually we had to do it. But Salesforce launched the finalizer, and this made the process so easy because we can re-into the failed queuable job. So as in, okay, call out failed, right? So now we can re-enqueue to check, okay, now it is passed. So or so that obviously, and we can do it only 5 times. So okay, it failed once, we made a call out, okay, it failed second time, third time, fourth time. It will keep on re-enqueuing, but it can do only 5 times. So to understand in nutshell, basically any post action which we want to do when job succeeds or fails, that is what the transaction finalizer does. It is used for the queuable job. Yes, Jan, please go ahead.
Thank you. So this is like a sample code for transaction finalizers. We can see
Okay, so by understanding
here,
the code, we will be getting some
which
more clarity about the
implements
transaction
the
finalizer. Okay, so basically, let understand the code. What we will do is we will create a class and we will use the finalizer interface. Now it will be having the execute method. Now that finalizer context, it is having get QID method, get sync job, get result, get exception. These are the methods it has. What we need to remember is we are simply making, like we are what we are doing is we are getting the job ID, and then we are checking that if it is succeeded, then we are printing the success message, and else if it is fails, we are re-queuing it again, re-queuing it again. That is what transaction finalizer help us to do in case there is a failure, that we can take another action. So that we can do. Now what is the role of queuable here? So if you see the right side, in the public class sample async job implements queuable, it is queuable interface is having one method, that is execute, and in that we have created the instance of the update finalizer class, and then we are doing system.attach finalizer and putting the instance of the class. So this way we can attach the finalizer. This way, from the queuable, we can actually make the transaction finalizer actual that particular code, make it run, and that is the use of transaction finalizer, and that is how we are able to attach and make it run. And we can do it 5 times. We can add the post action. Yes, can.
thank you. We'll go for the question, and this is the last question for today. So difference between the future and the queuable epics. Can
So
see here.
in this question, basically this is some one of the most common questions asked. So in future method, we can never pass as objects. We can only pass primitive and collection of primitive values. But with queuable, we can pass as objects. Then in future, we cannot monitor using the job ID. We have to go to the apex job by going to setup, and we have to like filter it out, because we don't get the job ID. When we are talking about the queuable, we get the job ID because we are putting like a queuable context in that. Because of that, we get the job ID, and then we can monitor using the async apex jobs, using the query. Or if you want to check in that setup, we can do apex jobs and we can check that. Then third point is that future method cannot be called inside the future or batch class. So basically we cannot call future from future or future from batch, but queuable apex can be called from future and batch. We have to use the enqueue, which we have said, check that how we can basically call one queuable job from another. That is a possibility. And then the future method will never be queued, so we cannot queue them, like we cannot call one future method from another. And using queuable apex, we can chain up to we can chain up to queuable jobs, and in developer edition it is of only 5 jobs. So that's the difference between future and queuable apex, and we can use accordingly both of them. So thank you guys for attending to this interview
Thank
session,
you. Thank you, everyone.
and
Yeah.
please subscribe to SFDC Amplified.